for anyone with a business, or even if you're just dreaming of starting one.
Your online presence.
Exactly. It all starts with a great website, right?
Absolutely. It's your virtual storefront, your 24/7 salesperson.
That's a great way to put it. So, we're going to be digging into this article, Top 10 Essential Features Every Small Business Free Website Should Have in 2024.
It's a mouthful, I know.
It is. But don't worry, we're not just going to read off a list. We're all about making this practical, really understanding why these features matter.
And how they actually play out in the real world. Yeah.
Exactly. So buckle up because we're about to break down each feature using real stories, examples, all that good stuff.
So you can walk away with actionable insights, ready to make your website shine.
I love it. All right, let's kick things off with the first essential feature, and it's a big one. Mobile responsiveness.
QGE. Especially these days.
Think about it. How often are you on your phone browsing?
Constantly.
Right. The article actually says over half of all website traffic is mobile now.
So if your site looks like,
Like it's stuck in the dark ages.
yeah, tiny text, impossible menus, people are going to bounce so fast.
It's like instant frustration. I know I've been there, trying to pinch and zoom just to read a sentence.
The worst.
Yeah.
And it's not just about looking good on a phone either. It's the whole experience.
Totally. It affects everything.
And the article actually tells this story about Kathy. She owns this cute clothing boutique, and she learned about mobile responsiveness the hard way.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, she put so much work into her online store, beautiful product photos, the whole 9 yards.
But
It was a nightmare on mobile. Customers were complaining, abandoning their carts left and right.
ouch, that's gonna hurt.
It really did. Her sales were plummeting, and she was just at a loss.
So what does she do?
So she finally took the plunge and switched to a platform that automatically makes your site mobile friendly.
Okay, that sounds promising.
And guess what? It was like night and day. Sales doubled, mobile traffic went through the roof.
Wow, so it was really just about making that switch, making it easy for people to shop on their phones.
Exactly. And it made her realize how much she was missing out on before.
It's amazing what a difference a user-friendly experience can make.
Huge difference. It can make or break your business, honestly.
All right, that's a powerful start. Next up, we've got another feature that's all about that smooth user experience. User-friendly navigation.
Think of it like the map of your website.
Oh, I like that. You want people to find their way around easily.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No one wants to feel lost and confused on your website.
Mhm.
You want to make it crystal clear where to find what they're looking for.
Otherwise, they'll just click away, right?
Exactly. And it can actually hurt your business in more ways than one. The article mentions this guy, Chuck, who had this amazing tech startup.
Okay, sounds promising.
Right. But here's the thing. His website navigation was so confusing, investors couldn't even figure out what he was selling.
Oh no, all that hard work and then...
Crickets. He was losing out on potential funding, partners, everything, because his website was too difficult to use.
It really highlights the importance of clarity, doesn't it? No matter how great your product or service is, if people can't understand it.
It's like you've got this incredible gift, but you've wrapped it in barbed wire.
Ouch. So what did Chuck do?
He finally hired someone to help him simplify his navigation, make it super clear where to find information.
Smart move.
And things finally started clicking. Engagement went up, investors were finally understanding his vision, and eventually he secured funding, all because he made his website easier to use.
It's amazing how such a seemingly small thing can make such a huge difference.
It really can. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, people just want things to be easy.
Exactly. Okay, ready for feature number 3.
Damn me.
This one's all about those calls to action, those little buttons that tell people what to do next. It's so important. It's like imagine a store with no cash register, right?
People might love what they see, but how do they actually buy?
Exactly. Calls to action are those crucial next step buttons. Shop now, learn more, contact us. They guide your visitors towards that conversion.
Okay, so it's not enough to just hope people figure out what to do on your website?
Nope, you got to tell them
Yes.
and make it enticing.
Right. Be direct, but also creative with it.
The article actually shares a story about Maya. She's an online coach, and she was getting decent traffic, but no one was converting into clients.
So she had the audience, but
But no one was signing up. And it turned out her calls to action were buried, almost an afterthought.
so what did she change?
She started putting clear, enticing calls to action throughout her site homepage, blog posts, even her About page.
So everywhere. And the results? Inquiries went through the roof. It's all about gently guiding your visitors, showing them the path.
That makes so much sense. Okay, on to feature number 4. Contact information and customer support.
Seems like a no-brainer, right?
You'd think so, but you'd be surprised how many businesses make it practically impossible to find their contact info.
It's like they're hiding from their customers.
Right, and it just creates this unnecessary barrier, like if someone's interested in your business.
Let them reach out. Like your article mentions Tom, an event planner, and he was losing clients left and right simply because they couldn't find his contact details.
Oh no, that's rough.
Tell me about it. His contact info was buried at the bottom of his About page. No contact form, no phone number, nothing.
So how do you fix that?
He made a complete 180, added a contact form to every single page, put his phone number right there in the header.
Smart move, meeting people where they are.
Exactly. He even added a live chat feature so people could get instant answers.
Wow, now that's service.
And guess what? Bookings skyrocketed. Yeah, people were so relieved to finally be able to get in touch.
It builds trust, doesn't it? Knowing you can easily reach someone.
Huge. It shows you're approachable, reliable, that you actually care about your customers.
Absolutely. Okay, on to feature number 5, SEO optimization. Now, I know this one can feel kind of intimidating,
SEO, it's like this mystical acronym, right?
but it's really not as complicated as it seems. At its core, it's just about making sure your website shows up on Google when people search for businesses like yours.
Exactly. It's all about visibility. Because you could have the most amazing website in the world, but if it's buried on page 10 of the search results...
No one's ever going to find it.
Exactly. It's like having a shop on a deserted island. You need to be where the customers are, and online, that means showing up in search results.
Okay, so how do we do that? How do we get Google to notice us?
Well, the article tells a great story about Edith. She makes beautiful handmade jewelry.
Oh, I love that.
Right. But she was having trouble getting her website seen. It was lost in the vast sea of online jewelry businesses.
I can imagine. It's so competitive out there.
It really is. But then she learned about this free tool called Google Search Console.
Okay, and what does it do?
It basically shows you what people are actually typing into Google when they find your site or don't.
Oh, that's interesting. So you can see what keywords people are using.
Exactly. And Edith realized that while she had been using general terms like jewelry on her site, people were actually searching for more specific things.
Like handmade silver earrings or something?
Exactly. Or unique birthday gifts. She was missing out on all that targeted traffic.
That makes sense. So by using those more specific keywords, she was able to attract people who were already interested in what she was selling.
Exactly. It's like the difference between casting a wide net and using a fishing rod. You're more likely to catch what you want if you're specific.
So Edith started incorporating those more targeted keywords into her website copy,
And it worked. Her website started climbing the Google ladder. She was getting more visibility, more clicks, and guess what that led to?
more sales.
Bingo. It's all about getting in front of the right eyes at the right time.
That's a great way to put it. And it all started with understanding how SEO works and using the right tools.
Exactly. And remember, Google Search Console is free, so there's no excuse not to use it.
All right, let's move on to feature number 6, social media integration.
Because it's not enough to just exist on social media. You've got to connect it to your website.
Right. It's about creating that seamless experience so people can easily go from scrolling through their feed to checking out your products or services.
Exactly. Think of it like building bridges between your online presence. You want to make it super easy for people to cross over.
And there's so many ways to do that these days, right?
So many. You can embed social media feeds directly onto your website, add social sharing buttons, run contests.
The possibilities are endless. The article tells a great story about Bob, who owns a fitness center, and he was killing it on social media, but
it wasn't translating to website traffic or new gym memberships.
so how did he bridge that gap?
Well, he started by embedding his Instagram feed directly onto his website.
Oh, smart. So people could get a feel for the vibe of his gym without even leaving the website.
Exactly. It's like giving them a sneak peek of what they're missing.
And it probably made his website feel more lively, more engaging.
Totally.
Yeah.
And he didn't stop there. He also added social sharing buttons to all his blog posts and pages.
So if someone found an article or a class schedule they liked, they could easily share it with their friends.
Exactly. And you know what they say? Word of mouth is the best advertising.
It's true. And it's free. So Bob was basically leveraging the power of his existing social media audience to drive traffic to his website.
Smart, right. And it worked. He saw a big jump in website visits and a significant increase in new gym memberships.
That's what I like to hear. Proof that social media, when done right, can be a powerful tool for businesses.
Absolutely. All right, ready for feature number 7. This one's all about content, but not just any content.
It's got to be good content, right?
Exactly. It's about creating valuable, engaging content that establishes you as a thought leader in your field.
Right. It's about more than just selling. It's about providing value, building relationships, and becoming a resource that people trust.
Exactly. Because people can tell when you're just trying to sell them something, right?
Totally. They want to feel like you're actually trying to help them, educate them, entertain them.
Exactly. And best way to do that is through high quality content. Think blog posts, videos, infographics, ebooks. The possibilities are endless.
It's about finding what works for your brand, your audience.
And being consistent.
Yes. Consistency is key. You can't just post once a month and expect people to stick around.
Nope. You got to give them a reason to keep coming back for more. The article tells this really inspiring story about Vani. She's a nutritionist.
Okay.
And she was struggling to stand out online. She had a website, but it's pretty basic.
Oh, what did she do?
She decided to get serious about content marketing.
What does that look like?
Well, she started by launching a blog on her website.
Okay.
And she committed to publishing a new informative article about nutrition every single week.
Wow, that's dedication.
It was. But it paid off. She focused on providing actionable tips, delicious recipes, answers to common questions she heard from clients.
So she was really providing value, addressing her audience's needs.
Exactly. She became a go-to resource for all things nutrition.
And how did that affect her business?
Well, her website traffic tripled.
No way.
Yes way. People were finding her articles through organic searches, sharing them on social media, coming back to her website for more.
It's amazing what consistent, high-quality content can do.
It's like they say, content is king.
It's true. All right, moving on to feature number 8, secure and reliable hosting. Now, this one might not seem as exciting as some of the others.
It's not exactly the sexiest topic, but
It's incredibly important.
essential. Imagine this. You're running a huge sale.
Black Friday.
Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you name it. Traffic is surging. People are eager to buy.
Yeah.
Your website crashes.
Oh, no. That's every business owner's worst nightmare.
The worst. And it can happen if you're not using a secure and reliable hosting provider.
So this is about more than just making sure your website loads quickly.
It's about peace of mind, knowing that your website is secure, that it can handle traffic spikes, and that your customers' data is safe.
The article actually shares a story about Dennis. He runs an online bookstore.
Oh, I love bookstores.
Right. So Dennis had this big sale plan. Everything was ready to go. And right in the middle of the sale, his website crashed.
Oh, no.
The hosting he was using just couldn't handle the increased traffic.
Oof, I bet he was kicking himself.
He was. He ended up losing a ton of sales and frustrated a lot of customers.
That's the worst. Not only the lost revenue, but the damage to your reputation.
Exactly. It's not worth it to skimp on hosting.
Not at all. Invest in a reputable provider, one that offers great security, reliable uptime, and excellent customer support.
So that if something does go wrong, you can get help right away.
Exactly.
All right, on to feature number 9, e-commerce capabilities. Now, this one's obviously for businesses that sell products online.
But it's 2024. If you're selling something, people expect to be able to buy it online.
And they expect it to be easy.
Exactly. No one wants to deal with a clunky, confusing online store.
Right. It needs to be intuitive, secure, and offer a seamless checkout experience.
Absolutely. And the good news is setting up an online store is easier than ever these days.
Really? Because I think a lot of people get intimidated by the tech side of things.
I get it. But there are so many platforms out there designed to make it super simple, even if you have zero coding experience.
That's great to hear. The article tells a story about Rita. She's an artist, and she turned her passion for painting into a successful online business.
Amazing.
Right. But here's the thing. She had zero experience with e-commerce.
So how'd she do it?
She found a platform that made it super easy to set up an online store, even for a complete beginner.
Which platform? Tell me everything.
Well, we'll link to the article in the show notes so you can check it out. But basically, this platform allowed her to upload photos of her paintings, set prices, manage inventory, and accept payments securely, all in one place.
Wow, that's incredible. Talk about simplifying things.
Right. And it's a great example of how accessible e-commerce is these days.
You don't need to be a tech whiz. You just need the right tools and a little bit of guidance.
And a great product, of course.
Of course. Can't forget about that.
All right, on to our final feature for today, and it's all about data, analytics, and performance tracking.
Data is king or queen.
It's how we measure our success, figure out what's working and what's not.
Exactly. because you can have the best website in the world, but if you're not tracking your data.
You have no idea how people are actually using it.
Exactly. Analytics can tell you so much, like which pages are getting the most traffic, where people are dropping off, what people are searching for when they land on your site.
It's like having X-ray vision into your audience's behavior.
Exactly. And that information is incredibly valuable because it allows you to make informed decisions about your website.
So instead of just guessing what people want, you actually have data to back up your decisions.
Exactly. The article tells a story about Evan. He runs an adventure tourism company.
Fun.
Right.
Yeah.
But he wasn't really using data to inform his website strategy.
So he was kind of just flying blind.
Pretty much. And he was getting okay results, but he knew he could be doing better.
So what did he do?
He decided to start using Google Analytics.
Another free tool. Google is on a roll.
I know, right? So Evan started tracking things like which pages were getting the most traffic, where people were clicking, how long they were staying on each page.
So he could see what was resonating with people and what wasn't.
Exactly. And he quickly discovered that a lot of people were landing on his website after searching for family-friendly hikes.
Okay.
But he didn't actually have a page dedicated to family-friendly hikes.
He was missing out on a whole niche.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he created a whole page dedicated to family-friendly adventures, showcasing the best hikes for families with young children, tips on what to pack, where to stop for snacks. He even included a packing list for different weather conditions.
Wow, he really did his research and catered to that audience.
He went above and beyond. And guess what?
Bookings went up.
They skyrocketed.
Yeah.
All because he took the time to understand his website data and make adjustments based on what he learned.